my name is Devin Horn, and I will be presenting costume design for the wonderful musical Brigadoon. Hi, I'm Devin Horn, again, and I will be doing costume design for Sunday in the Park with George. Hi, I'm Devin Horn, and I will be doing costume construction for the play Antony and Cleopatra. Hi, I'm Devin Horn, and I proudly represent District 7, Troop 5880.
Hi, I'm Devin Horn, and I'll be doing costume construction for Anything Goes.
Hi, I'm Devin Horn, and I want to be a costume designer. I started experimenting with costumes when I was really little. My sister and I had these multicolored silks, and we would create these elaborate garments out of them. Most of the time we ended up looking like gypsies or very kind of promiscuous princesses because we made tube tops and stuff out of them.
Devin started showing interest in costumes very early. As a toddler, her most favorite thing was dressing up in whatever we had around. There was a piece of fabric or some ribbons or a full-on costume that was from a dress-up kit. That's what she did pretty much every single day.
When my mom started doing costumes, we had for the school plays, we had done Halloween costumes, and I would always design these elaborate Halloween costumes, and she would help me make them. So when she started doing the costumes for the shows, I wanted to help, and I've been doing it ever since.
So then when she got to be in middle school and she joined the Junior Thespian Society, they have competitive technical theater events, and Devin decided that she wanted to do the costume design event then in 6th grade. And we were very unclear about what that meant because we had never been to a competition before, and Devin came home with a set of rules, and she chose to do Brigadoon, which was a musical that she had watched as a child with me and my mom and her sister Carmen, because we love, Hollywood musicals. So she had seen the show before, and so she thought it would be pretty cool. So we got the play, and she started to read it, and then that's where that was her first competition piece.
In my version of Brigadoon, singing and dancing will take center stage. So the costumes I designed emphasize character and movement.
Well, Devin, all 3 years in middle school, even as a 6th grader, going in completely cold and not knowing what competition was like, took first place in her category of costume design, which is called Critics' Choice. So she won Critics' Choice at District, and then all 3 years she went to States and also won Critics' Choice. It was pretty exciting. She was, undefeated, and the reason she was undefeated is she was super good. When the ITS, the International Thespian Society members, when they move from middle school, which is junior thespians, to senior thespians, which is in high school, there are more technical theater categories. And so she decided to do costume construction. And so just as in junior thespians, Devin went to district competition and took first place every single year. When she got to States, competition was a bit tougher at the senior level. And so her first 2 years she got superiors, which are the highest marks, but she had to wait until she was a junior and senior to take first place at States, which was actually pretty astounding that she took it twice.
Mrs. Lovett is the owner of a meat pie shop who ends up using human flesh for her fillings. So I used meat, raw and cooked, for the inspiration for my color palette. I also distressed the fabric to show the wear and tear of the streets of London in the 19th century. I've designed for so many shows. My first one that I did by myself was called Grandma Sylvia's Funeral, and it's dinner theater, so it was very interactive, and the costumes had to fit because the characters were like in the audience, so that was an interesting thing. I've done several one-acts. I've done Gypsy and a French farce called A Flea in Her Ear, and then I've helped out with 6 to 8 shows at Pomona.
Hello, my name is Alison Simon. I am a drama teacher who worked at the North Broward Preparatory School for 15 years. It was my privilege and my pleasure and my inspiration to have worked with a number of absolutely incredible students. And one of these students was Devon Horn.
Each year in our part of the world, there's high schools in our area and other areas in the country too, but in our area we have it. It's called the CAPI organization.
Your show at your school that you represent can be possibly nominated. Actors can be nominated, and there's a big celebration usually in May at the Broward Center. It's sort of like the Tony Awards of high school theater.
But then also technical categories are also considered. So set design, lighting design, costume design. So Devon, as a freshman, was approached by the director whose show was going to be in the Cappies. It was Alison Simon, and she was doing Grandma Sylvia's funeral.
My last year at North Broward, I ended up directing a show called Grandma Sylvia's Funeral. And this was an incredibly difficult piece to direct because we never ever knew what was going to work, what would happen in front of a live audience. And so I decided to make life really easy for myself. I asked Devon if she would direct the costumes for me. I had a vision, I shared the vision with her, she took it away, she ran with it, and every single outfit she came up with was exactly what I wanted. I couldn't have asked for anything else. I was so pleased. The characters in this play, they are so out there, and she just got it. You know, from the old women who came up to dance to the family members. And all I can say was that out of every aspect of that production, that was the only thing that I never ever had a sleepless night about.
At North Broward, no student had ever been the lead designer for a show, let alone to have a freshman do it. And so Devon said, sure, I'd love to do that. And it sounds like fun. So that was her first show she did for the Cappies. And she was nominated. She didn't win. So the following year, a different director, but also at North Broward, Nicole Garrison asked her to do the costumes for Gypsy. And Devon did an amazing job on that, 150 costumes for one show. It's pretty astounding. Also was nominated for the Cappy and didn't win. Her junior year, a new director, a new professor, new teacher at the school, Brett Scott, was doing the farce, Flea in Her Ear.
A Flea in Her Ear was my favorite show. It was set in 1890s France, which is a wonderful era. You get to do bustles, and you get to do lots of ridiculous stuff, and it's a farce, so the colors can just be bright and crazy, and it's awesome.
He asked Devon if she'd be willing to do it, and at this point she really wanted to do it and really wanted that Cappy.
Go to the back stairs. Then you won't bump into one of our clients with your pile of shits. Shits!
Oui, madame.
Well, here's the porter.
Quick, post a cab.
What? A cab? My wife!
My husband!
And with Turnell!
She did the costumes for A Flea in Her Ear, was nominated again, and her junior year she won.
As far as her attributes, one of the things that she really did well was being professional at such a young age, because at the time I think she was 16, which is very rare to see in a young artist.
I think what makes Devon a great designer is that she's not just a designer. She is an actress as well. So she knows what it's like as a person to have to put on a costume, and she knows how important the costume is if you're a performer.
Can I help you, madame?
Yes. Wasn't that man Monsieur Shanaby's butler?
That's quite possible. He came here asking for a room booked in that name, madame. He said he was looking for a woman because her husband was after her. And when he found the woman, it turns out he was her husband and he was after her, madame. And he saw quite a bit of a muddle.
She knows what she wants in life. And the other thing about her is that when she commits to a project, she commits 100%. You know, I think whenever she was performing, if she was designing, in her choice for college, in her choice of a career, you know, and I know in years to come, I'm going to see her name, whether it's for movie design, whether it's for design for the stage. I just know she's going to be successful.
Devin as a person is happiest, I think, when she's got a project. She likes to dig into a creative problem, and she's kind of beautiful and creative and funny and super interesting as a person, but I think she's happiest when she has a project.
What are you making, Devin?
A crown.
Can you hold it up a little bit for the camera? A beautiful crown to go with your dress. Can you step out of from the chair and show me the dress? Ooh, whoops. I can't do that. Spin for us once. Lovely, thank you.